Good morning. Let me just check. Yes, right camera. Thank the Lord. Hey, good morning, Mary Morris. How are you? Happy Monday. It's Monday again. I don't know where the weeks go, honestly. It just comes around so quickly. But what a busy week. What a busy week. How are you, Mary? It's the 1st of December, so it's officially, you can be Christmas now, I think. I think you can. I've just revealed Chris's advent calendar that I've made for him. And he was very excited to find chocolates, cheese, and a dinosaur in box number 1. He's very happy with that. What is everybody else up to? Have you opened your advent calendars today? Good morning, Francis. Good morning, Tony. Yes, first day of Advent. So, very excited. I haven't got an advent calendar, but there is one that hasn't sold in the shop, so that'll probably be mine. Good morning, Sil. Good morning, Kit Kat. Good morning. Kit Kat, your little emoji is really cool. I can just see little green eyes, which is very good to go with your name. So you can see, wrong way. See, I have a wall of earrings growing here. That's been my mission last week, was just making lots of earrings because I have a big pop-up sale in the shop next Thursday. So it's all trying to get everything out and ready and make sure I've got something for everyone. So yeah, I just figured I don't do earrings very often. So I thought I'd just make a wall of earrings to go with the few that I've got out already. You don't have an advent calendar? But I do the Advent competitions. Ooh, Advent competitions? What are these? Yeah, there's bound to be loads of ones online. I suddenly had an idea this morning that I'll do an Advent thing on Mojo and then realised, well, I'm really too late to plan that. Good morning, Linda. How are you? Has everybody finished their Christmas fairs now? I know my sister's got a Christmas fair on the 22nd of December. That's really late, isn't it? The competitions you enter to win things. Is that on Facebook or just generally on the internet, Tony? That sounds good. Yeah, so I had this, I found these little buckets in this new shop I found. It's called Junk and Jewels. I think I told you about it last week. And I found these tiny little tin buckets and they were so cute. So I bought some thinking I'll put them on the Christmas tree with little things in. And then I thought, well, why don't I make them into an advent calendar for Chris? And I thought, he's a gardener, so it sort of makes sense to have that. And I had a plan originally. I won't tell you what it is because he'll be watching and it's something that will happen later. So I can't tell you, but I had this like garden themed idea. And then everywhere, Insta, Twitter, Facebook, and online. Oh, cool. Oh, I'll have to have a look now. Yeah, so did that. And then I thought, well, how am I going to hang these buckets? And so then I've hashed together 2 lengths of garden trellis. And to be honest, in the end, it's worked out that it's nearly 6 foot tall, this calendar. So I've had to get Chris to clear the bottom of the stairs by the shop and hang it. I had to have the drill and everything out to put up hooks to hang this calendar. So it was a bit of an ordeal, really. But he was very pleased with it this morning. I had to do it this morning, so you didn't see it before. So yeah, so a little bit late and unorganized this morning. It's not like me, is it? Yeah. So anyway, it looks really cool, but it's very big. But hopefully you can use it after in as like potting shed for putting seed packets in or something like that. That would be really, really good thing to use it for, because buckets are sort of this sort of size. They're fairly decent size, not tiny. Oh. But yeah, it's the first year Chris hasn't got me an advent calendar, so I've got some points there in the bag, haven't I? Feels pretty guilty, I expect. So, has everybody finished all their Christmas fairs now, or are you still on them? I suppose the first week in December you might have some. So I said I haven't got into any fairs this year. I didn't feel, well, I haven't had the time really. But we're doing, because our shop closes on a half day on a Thursday usually. So what we've decided is that I'm just going to do a shop takeover and open the shop on a Thursday afternoon with all things jewellery, art. Chris is going to make some wreaths with his flower displays. My brother's brought some things down from his woodwork. So we're going to do like just a handmade Christmas gift shop, pop-up shop on the Thursday afternoon and then into the evening. So it should be really lovely, just some mince pies and have some Christmas music going. Yeah, looking forward to it. People seem really interested as well. So that's good. It's all fresh ideas and all new to the village. Yeah. So it's all very interesting to them, I think. So yeah, what else is everybody up to? Are you looking forward to Wednesday evening? So this Wednesday evening, we've got our Crows Mojo open surgery live, open jewelry, not open surgery, open jewelry, open surgery. So I'll be live in the evening from 6 o'clock, I believe. I put the post in on my page earlier, from 6 o'clock to take questions, do demos, answer design dilemmas, do whatever it is really, or just have a natter and a catch up. So if you want to take part in that, it's completely free. It's just one of those, and like a Facebook thing, you're going to do it every month, alternate between evenings. So it'll always be on a Wednesday, but it'll either be a Wednesday afternoon or a Wednesday evening. So that hopefully catch everybody. Those people that can't make daytime or can't make evening can at least get to take part every other month. Yeah, and just do it as a way to sort of reconnect and bring Mojo sort of back together and back to life. So that's Wednesday evening. There will be a demonstration that I'm doing for you. And last week, Leslie asked if I would post a link to buy the materials to create this little Christmas tree. There's a lot more to this, so this is quite a versatile thing, and I can talk you through all the other ways you can use it. But this is the little Christmas tree we're making today. I should be putting some charms on it just to show you how to decorate the tree and putting the topper on. So I will be demonstrating that as part of the surgery. So that will be the first thing, just to get us going. But I'm also asking everybody to post pictures of what they want answers to. So if you've got a problem or you can't get something to sit right, or you have a design that you're just thinking, I'm not sure if that's working, maybe I or somebody else in the surgery can help. So yeah, put pictures, as much information as possible, so that I can answer your question as best as possible. And some things I might need to prepare for, like dig out a certain box of things or tools or something. So yeah, feel free to go into that group and ask lots of questions in there, and we'll see what we can do and just have a nice Wednesday early evening get together in Mojo. So on Facebook, in Crows Mojo. I don't think I put a link in here, but Linda, you've got one on Saturday, a local pub restaurant outside under a marquee. Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds like a nice one. And the pub means you can, probably get a nice mulled cider or something, can't you? Or mulled wine. Do you like mulled wine, mulled ciders? I do. I haven't had one yet, but tonight might be the night, being the 1st of December. It might be the night to crack open a mulled wine. We got one from last year. So what else? I don't know if anybody who's got their calendar. I know lots of you that were in with me last week bought one, because Marie was so super excited. She was so super excited at how many sold on the first go, and also a little bit worried that, oh no, have we got enough gemstones? So I don't know who's managed to get theirs so far. And who doesn't know what I'm on about? Does anybody not know what this is? Let me know, because I can tell you all about it. I'm still very excited. Not arrived yet. No, it won't have arrived yet. They're shipping this week. or at the end of this week. So it was the first week in December they're shipping. Ordered yours, Linda? You've ordered yours, Sylv? It's such great value for money. My sister was here on a weekend. She said, I can't believe the price of it. And because she obviously got to see it in the flesh and handle the stone and see the projects. So she's like, I can't believe the price of it. It's really great value. And it is. And I think perhaps we were like, oh, we'll be cautious. But yeah, so here it is anyway, just in case you haven't seen it. It's a calendar that has been a collaboration between me and Chalmers Gems, Marie and the team there. And so it's not just a wall calendar. So it's a beautiful wall calendar with lovely images, lovely information about the gemstone, or some quirky facts or things that you need to know, like the hardness and everything like that if you're making jewelry. It's also then got all your boxes for doing putting your key dates and your craft fairs and all that. It's got a little monthly mantra that you can use to sort of motivate you or make you feel more creative that month. It's got a discount code every month to have 10% off that month's gemstone. So January will be fluorite, and also then a QR code to be able to download a tutorial for that month's project. So that's that one, and that's this one here. And you can download those projects and they're yours for as long as you want them, and as long as you need them. And lots of pictures. It's just not, it's a bit fuzzy, isn't it? I wonder if I haven't changed the settings. But yeah, there it is. So that's quite small, obviously, but you can scale it up or scale it down. So yeah, so there's 12 projects, 12 gemstones in the year. You get a strand of the gemstones that looks like this. So it's got 3 of each of the gemstones for that year, for that month. So some unusual ones as well that you might not usually buy a whole strand of, or might not be in the budget to buy a whole strand of, like demortuarite or phantom quartz. There's moonstone. There's Botswana agate. There's golden obsidian. There's rose quartz. There's green opal, amazonite, labradorite, jade. Oh God, all sorts. Moonstone. Yeah, so there's lots and lots of lovely, lovely gemstones, and the whole thing is £39.50. So amazing value. Amazing value considering you get 12 fully downloadable. Leopard skin jasper. That's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite projects as well. Just there. So all 12 projects, all 3 of each of the gemstones, 10% off of that gemstone every month as well. So every month there'll be a whole strand of this gemstone launched, and you will get 10% off of that with your exclusive code. What else is there? Yeah, so information, calendar, gemstones, tutorials, inspiration in terms of a mantra, and £39.50. That's it. So it's absolutely incredible, incredible price. I'm just gonna, just in case somebody catches this live later, let me just copy that, put that in there. So this is a link here to the gemstones. You've got yours as well, Tony. Good, I think. And the other thing is, yeah, it is finite, so there will only be so many. It's not like you can just buy this any time. I mean, ideally you want it for January, don't you? But the strand and this concept is only available whilst we've got the strands. So, and as you can imagine, sourcing a strand like this is not easy, because not many. Because when as far as I understand it from Marie, I mean, she does this for a living, sources strands, but you can source whole strands, because obviously the quantity of material brings, you have to buy so many to get them, to get the supplier to actually bother making them, because it's got to be worth their while. So to have 3 different gemstones, 12 different gemstones in one strand. I mean, that is quite a feat to be able to achieve that. So it's not something that you can just have in abundance. It's a special commission, you know, an exclusive commissioned strand that nobody else will have, only Chalmers, you know. So it's because Marie chose gemstones that were interesting, that she could give him interesting insights into, and we chose an 8mm round because it is the most versatile. So when I made all the projects in the tutorials, I had all of these left. So there's only one of the projects where I use all 3 gemstones. So I've got 11, at least 11, 2 amazonites, 2 fluorites, and I've got all these left. And so then I could do like a mixed one. I could do like, I don't know, a planets bracelet or something with that, and still have that, you know, that interest, or a chakra sort of bracelets or something, because there's a bit of everything still left. So it's really great value. I think it's great value just for the gemstones, to be honest, without all the work that went into this and the tutorials. So anyway, that's still available at the moment, and it ships sort of towards the end of this week, once everything's arrived, because obviously we ordered these prototypes just to check that everything was right and perfect, and we were happy with the quality and the style, and then once we knew we were happy with it, we then put the larger order in, which hopefully is enough to go round. We'll see. But you know, if we run out of gemstones, we can't do any more calendars, so that's the way it is. So it's yeah, you're gonna have to be lucky to get hold of one. So that's still available, still very exciting. And yeah, everybody I've spoke to and in person or has seen it in person thinks it's fabulous value, and a lovely thing to look at as well. Very inspiring just to have that big image of that gemstone on the wall as well, and brush up your gemstone knowledge. Mary says it's our local monthly craft night tonight. I'll be doing a demo on an origami Christmas tree. Oh, lovely. That's really nice. I'm not very good at origami, I've realized. I tried to make Chris some origami dragonflies for our anniversary last week. And the best one, actually, Willow managed to get hold of and chewed it up. So, but there are several now just dotted around the house where we just put them on top of wardrobes or on top of books somewhere just around the house, just to keep them out of Willow's reach, really. So they'll just be there gathering dust. But I think the paper I used was too thick. So Mary, you've got to have quite a fine grade paper, really, haven't you? I used like scrapbooking paper and it was just too thick. So, you know, by the time you've done 4 folds, it's like rigid. But that sounds nice. A nice little demo. I've got a workshop on Saturday in the village making snowflakes, which are not here, they're in the shop. So I've got some of those to do. I've got that workshop. I also have a workshop next Wednesday in the shop where my jewellery collections launched. That workshop I think sold out, actually, because you know, people have been seeing the work there and they want to make the project. So that's really exciting. I got you guys on Wednesday night. Hopefully most of you guys on Wednesday night on here. And then, of course, my pop-up shop next Thursday. And then I think it's a bit quieter. I've got a few repairs in from people that I can then focus on. And I've got a couple of commissions for robins. So I'm still working on those. That robin takes ages. Now I know why I didn't sell them. But yeah, I'm still... Look, still got such a long way to go. And I'm running out of wire. So here's the finished one, or the original robin, and I'm still this far. Chris says, "How are you doing with robin?" And he's like, "You haven't done anything." And I'm like, "I have woven an inch. It takes ages because you've got to get into all this." Now it's at that point where it's difficult to get your fingers in to push the weave, and so I'm determined to try and finish that today. That's on my must do to-do list. I've got several to-do lists, but my must-do to-do list is that one. Try the work paper pads. They're current Christmas pad is great. 400 sheets for £5. Oh, the works. They're a bit finer, are they? A bit thinner. Yeah. I got so much paper left. I got a massive box upstairs full of scrapbook paper and card making stuff. And my sister this weekend brought me a cutting machine. You know, these what's it called? A die cutter with a load of dies. Because I thought, well, I might as well make some cards because I haven't got much else to do. But, you know, I like a really nice card, and I don't feel that we supply them at the shop. I think we've got quite generic cards, you know, because we have to buy them, obviously, and we don't want to spend lots of money on things that are our personal taste. But if I can make them with all the stuff I've got, I could do that. And Chris is like, Gem, you can't just fill the shop with all your stuff. I can actually. Yeah. So I'm gonna have a go at it. I'm quite excited. I've never used a cutting or embossing machine before. It looks kind of cool. So yeah, I've got all these little dies, and I'm gonna have a little experiment. I don't know when, but I will. Right. Well, anyway, whilst we're nattering, why don't we get some votes in, and then I will tell you something very inspiring I did yesterday. An absolutely amazing thing yesterday. So my sister was visiting for the weekend with her lovely partner, Si. So it was really nice. They came up very early Saturday morning. In fact, they were here before we opened the shop. So they set off a ridiculous hour in the morning to get here. And then we managed to have the whole lovely weekend. They went quite late last night. So we had a lovely weekend. You're going to go for 8 this week. I need felting needles to mend moth holes in a coat I bought. Oh, gosh. Let me have a look in my craft bag, Sylv. I might have some felting needles I can send you. I'm sure I will have a look, because I'm absolutely certain I'm sure I owe you a few things of all the things you've sent me, so it'll be fine. Pen. I need a pen to write down the numbers. Now, here we go. Oh, that's not a pen. That's chalk. Oh, why haven't I got a pen? I've only got... There it is. Pen. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So Mary said an 8. Good morning to you too. Number 7 for Jane. Happy belated. Oh, thanks, Claire. Yeah, it was lovely. We had such a lovely time. Number 7 for Francis. And number 2 for Sylv. Oh, a nice variety of numbers today. Keep them coming in. I'll tell you what I got up to yesterday. So yesterday, because my sister was here, we were looking at things to do, and locally there's this castle called Castle Howard, and we just happened to have a look. The serendipitous thing went on, which I can't tell you too much about. So anyway, we ended looking on this website, and I noticed that they have an exhibition every year. They do some sort of themed Christmas transformation at the castle, and for Claire. And this year, their theme and transformation is Wizard of Oz, and I was like, this is so perfect. It opened this weekend. It was the weekend my sister's coming. My sister Faye is absolutely bonkers on Wizard of Oz. Always has been. Her favourite song is Over the Rainbow, and she just loves Wizard of Oz. So I was like, this is perfect. We have to go. So we went yesterday lunchtime. It was just spectacular. The events team that do it, it takes them 4 months to plan and design and organize, and then it takes them 3 weeks to put up all the installations, and it was just breathtaking. I honestly can't explain how beautiful it was. The displays, so they had, you went into this. Oh, I can't wait to go back when it's not done as well, because the home was amazing, the artwork was incredible, but of course you're distracted completely by the Christmas and the Wizard of Oz. So, but just the wallpaper, oh, you've never seen anything like it. It was just phenomenal. And this Castle Howard, has been in the same family for 300 years. The same family, which is incredible. And it's had tragedy, and it's been rebuilt, and it's run predominantly on volunteers. The lady and gentleman, the family that own it, they're not titled, they're just Mr. and Mrs. Howard. It's just an exceptional place. The grounds are beautiful, 3 lakes. The main lake is the size of the interior of whole of York walls, so it's massive, and it was spectacular. But the artistry in the displays, the flower arrangements, Chris was like, oh, this is amazing. The flower arrangements were wonderful, the lighting was amazing, the sounds, and little bits of the story being told as you walk through different areas of the story, the poppy fields, and the house that had been whipped up in the tornado, and the melted witch. It was just incredible. Everything was embellished with flowers and foliage, and these flower displays and fireplace wreaths in this setting of this stately home was just incredible. It was amazing. So if you are anywhere near North Yorkshire, Castle Howard, have a look. Do go. It's pricey, but it's worth it, because it is just to see, the displays and the lighting and amazing, and laser projections as well, to create the in the Emerald City, to create Oz. They had these big projections. Oh, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. Every time you walk through a room, you were like, and what was lovely is watching other people's faces do it as well, especially the kids. As they come round corners, they were like, oh, amazing. And there was actors, telling the kids they had to find the Totos, and it's so lovely. And I said to Chris, I've got window display ideas now for the rest of our lives here at Bugthorpe. It was absolutely wonderful. Right. 4 for Claire. Tony, did I get your 8? Did I say your 8 before? I've got 2 8s marked here, so let's see. Mary wants an 8. Yeah, and Tony wants an 8. That's it. 2 7s, 2 8s, 2 4s, 1 2. We need some more votes. Yeah, so absolutely wonderful. And Faye was in her element, looking at it all. So it was a great present for Faye. It's probably a little bit, it was just such a perfect thing. Could not pass it up. So yeah, unfortunately that size Christmas present as well. And he's not as much of a fan of Wizard of Oz as you can imagine. But unfortunately, Si, had to be in on that Christmas present. And number 8 for Linda. Ooh, we're putting number 8 in the lead. Yeah, so really, really wonderful. Some of the wreaths as well used, or one of the wreaths in one of the rooms, so in the lion's room. There was the fraidy cat lion, the scared lion. He was in one of the bedrooms, and he was in the bed, and of course it was this massive 4-poster bed, because it is, they've used all the furniture that's in the rooms, the traditional furniture, and just embellished it. And they got the scared lion in the bed poking out over the quilt like this, and the bed's all decorated, and the fireplace, the wreath on the fireplace was almost was foliage, but in amongst it was just lots of teddies. And I mean, like fluffy teddies, like they were all woodland animals, like squirrels and hedgehogs and rabbits and all sorts of things like that, but all fluffy animals like teddies. But it made this wreath and it was spectacular. You'd never have thought, like, oh, I know, put some teddies in a wreath. It was absolutely gorgeous. Simon took one for the team. I loved it, man. Don't get me. Couldn't. It was impossible not to like it because it was really amazing. But you know, Si is not the biggest Wizard of Oz fan. You know, it's quite a niche thing, isn't it, to be a big fan of Wizard of Oz? It was just perfect for my sister, absolutely perfect. So I was really thrilled to bits, and I think I photographed her about 1 million times. So yeah, got lots of photos to sort through. It was spectacular. I don't know if I've got anything that really shows it. On the website, they don't show the pictures of the event. They might now because it's open now, but you can see last year's, and last year's was Alice in Wonderland. And when I saw what that amazing events team had put together, I thought, wow, it's bound to be wonderful. And it didn't disappoint. It was absolutely gorgeous. You just see. I mean, this is have a look. This is the house from the back garden. It's got massive statues and great big fountains, which obviously are off because it's winter. But so I can't wait to go back again, you know, away from the Christmas season. But oh yeah, and I had to take a photograph of this table inlaid with these agate slices. Look at that, so beautiful. Yeah, some things it was just there's a picture of my sister sat in the chair. This is at the end of the exhibition when, you know, the rainbow comes and Dorothy gets her slippers. There's Dorothy and the Good Witch getting her ruby slippers, and she, you know, learning that she can click them together. And it was massive projections on the ceiling with a hot air balloon, and it's amazing. Let's see what else. Chris has got some great photos. And it's really hard to show you on here. But the monkeys were really scary, the flying monkeys. They are such scary things. But yeah, there's the yellow brick road that you followed all the way through the exhibition. And it was incredible. I can't show you on here, but it certainly was a very, very beautiful experience, and very inspiring for everybody, really, for artists, florists, people who enjoy lighting, people who enjoy big homes. It was lovely, something for all the family, but very expensive in the shops, very expensive. So yeah, we did go in all the gift shops, but we didn't really buy much. Anyway, right, any more votes? It sounds absolutely, it was Claire, you'd have loved it, you would have loved it. So beautiful. Yeah, so anybody's up in North Yorkshire, I completely recommend it. Castle Howard, fabulous place any time of year, I should imagine, but this Christmas exhibition was wonderful. Yeah, and they were excellent with accessibility. So I had rang in advance because Faye uses a mobility scooter, but then needs a wheelchair, and so we were escorted from the gate, given a talk and a guided tour all the way down to the house, and then there was somebody at every station to help with transfers and getting to the next place. And it was the service was outstanding, and the accessibility, considering it's an old property, that could not have been better organized for accessibility for those people that use wheelchairs or have mobility aids, etc. It was wonderful. The staff were amazing, the facilities were amazing. So really, really impressed there, because a lot of these National Trust places and big stately homes, there's so many things that you can't access. But there was nothing that could not be, you couldn't do. Even exploring the grounds, they even provide it's a first come first serve basis, but you can't pre-book them. but they are available, so you can sort of queue to have one if one's out. Are these buggies for going on the grass, because although there's paths around a lot of the land and the estate, like the formal gardens and things like that, there's also a lot of parkland and woodland with just grass, and most normal mobility scooters wouldn't be able to manage it. So they actually provide, there's two that they keep there permanently that you can use to go off-roading on, which is absolutely phenomenal, I thought. Yeah, really, really, really sets the standard of what should, what there should be available to people who need that assistance and support. Very, very impressive. Yeah, so don't let, if you've had problems before accessing stately homes, etc., with loved ones or with yourself, then that is a good option. Absolutely wonderful place. So really good. They have thought about the disabled. Yeah, very much. Well, apparently one of the owners, one of the Howards over the years, a woman wanted to use one part of the house. I think it was sometime in the Victorian era. I can't remember all the facts. My head doesn't hold facts very well. She converted the entrance courtyard into, or wanted it to be used for those who were infirm or had disabilities. So that area was, that it's always been in mind, that sort of area. Having said that, standards are very different these days. So if you were incapacitated, you were pretty much back in those days, you were looked after, weren't you? You didn't have your independence wasn't necessarily encouraged then. So it was more about taking care of people, but it was, there's always been that caring, compassionate feel to the house, that vibe, that ethos, what's the word I'm looking for? It's embedded in the culture of the house then, that to take care and support those who are disabled, infirm, incapacitated in some way. And so this one area was designed for those people to have a place to live and a safety within the grounds of the castle. And so it's always been part of the culture. And so I think it's just evolved now and got more up to date. So even some of those amazing staircases, they've put stair lifts in, very, very slow, but they're there nonetheless, and everything was ramped. Every area had an access route and people that are specifically there to help if need be. So it's really great. Yeah, very, very accessible. And I've been to many of these, because when in my previous life working at the care home in Keynsham, Bristol, I visited many sites with disabled people who were using chairs or mobility aids of some nature, and many places had maybe put the odd ramp in and had the odd thing that was help things be accessible, but and I know it's not always possible in these historic buildings because of infrastructure, etc. But it's not just that, it was the people, the emphasis on, I am an enable, what did they call themselves? I am an accessibility. Sure, somebody just knocked my window. Accessibility, somebody. It was brilliant, really good. Anyway, that's enough of that. Very, very lovely experience. Right, so I have what have I got to tell you? Anything else I got to tell you? No. Anything you got to tell me? No. Okay, let's do box number 8 then. So the box that we are opening today is box number 8. Where have I put it? Oh no, buried. This room is so full. It's so full of stuff. I don't know where to start with sorting it out, to be honest. It's like it started really well, but now, as I've had so many projects on the go, it's gotten really untidy and just lots of things out, and actually no more spaces to put things away. So I think I'm gonna have a week where I just sort this space out. My idea was that I would have this as an open studio at some point, but I actually can't ever see that happening at the moment. So yeah, I'm sure there's some solutions I can find to things. I'm gonna have to get creative, start thinking of new storage solutions, and I need a bigger desk. So basically, I need a bigger room. Right, but what was I looking at? Box number 8. Oh, okay. Some hoop earrings, which is actually great because I only made one of these, and I thought, well, that's a nice little tutorial for Monday Mojo. So it's a hook style earring like that, and I've decorated it with some little piquets of seed beads. Well, they're not seed beads. These are tiny 3mm. You'll see it better in a minute. 3mm. Oh God, help me! Red garnet. 3mm garnet around the edge. So this is a great one because I'm in earring mode, and also I need to make the other one to go with it. So this is good. But where have I put the 3mm garnets? Yeah, I hear you ask. Where have I put them? Let's have a look. I think they're in this box. Are they in this box? 3mm garnets. Where are you? No. That's garnet cube. That's garnet cube. Cubes. More cubes. Sorry, just bear with me. Oh, there's going to be an avalanche in a minute of all this stuff. Right, stay. Okay, right. I'm just going to find them because I think I know where they are. If they're not there, I'll use something else and just crack on. Let's go in my garnet box because that is, let's face it, where they should be. Oh, no. Oh, that's faceted. There's pretty. That's faceted. That's 4mm. Oh. 4mm. I've got lots of 4mm garnet. There's people having a good old gossip outside the window. That's 4mm garnet. What should I do it with? Oh, one more place to look. Aha. I have located the garnet strand and also just thrown lots of them around. So let's put them on my desk. Right. Those there. And then let me put the camera down so that you can see what I can see. Let's move this. Yeah. Ready? I'm going to put my finger over the screen. Sorry I'm late, but I got here just in time for the demo. Oh, hi, Carrie. You thought it was strawberry quartz? No, it's not. It's because they're so tiny, the light goes through them more, so they look a bit paler. Is that the right way up? Yes. Let's get this here. That's going to hold. Coating slip. And oh, it stands a bit high. Let's go down. Aha. There we go. Right. Sorry. Thank you for bearing with me. So we're going to make this earring. So it's a nice way of making your own earrings with just a piece of wire and making a hoop. You know, it's just something different to having a, you know, dangle. And hoops are really popular. So once you know how to make this type of hoop, you can then embellish it however you like. You can put beads on before you do anything, so the beads are actually trapped on the hoop, or you can, you know, bead it after, whatever you like really. Just the basic frame is great, but I'll show you how I've done these little little PKs across there. So we need some 0.8mm wire to start with. So is that 0.8? So is this a 0.8 wire? Where is this a 0.8 wire? That's 0.8 wire. Right, so I've got a 0.8 wire. Have I? No. What's this? 0.6. That's too thin. Tell you what, let's just pretend this is a 0.8 wire, and then I will have to make some separately. I was trying to kill birds with stones and do the same, but it doesn't matter, does it? Just show you how to do it. So 0.8 wire. Now, the reason I say 0.8 is because it's just on the cusp of being right for your ear wires. I prefer a finer ear wire for my ears, but it's getting it to hold, and because this is done in one piece, to be able to get that spring, then you'll need a stronger wire. So 0.8 generally most people are fine with through their ears. You will need a file to file the end, just so that the cut end doesn't scratch or catch the wearer, you know, or damage their ears. So you will need that. And what we're going to do is we're going to first off make a loop. So we're going to make the loop first. Now you can use any sort of mandrel. You can use a ring mandrel, or you can use bell making pliers, whatever you want to use to create the size hoop that you like. So just for ease, and because I got these in my hands, and I know you don't want me to go around rummaging anymore, I'm going to use my bell making pliers. So leave a bit of a tail at one end so that you can make your ear wire and the little loop that's going to make it springy, and take it to your mandrel and then wrap around to create a loop. So go all the way around, and you know, with wire it's springy, so it springs open a bit, so it will be a bit bigger than the shape you choose, so bear that in mind. And let's go round sort of 1.5 times just to make sure we've got enough wire in there. Okay, so there's your loop, and I am going to now create where the ear wire will be. So I don't need all of this wire. I'm just going to get rid of some for a minute just so it's not in my way. So I'm going to have my ear wire starting just where that loop, where it starts to straighten out. So take some round nose pliers, or your bail making pliers, position it onto the wire there, just where it starts to go straight, and then take that all the way round into the circle. So not upwards, we want it into the circle, because we don't want it to be changing, kind of sticking out of the circle then. So you can see I've gone part way round there. Can you see that there? And then just carry on so that it goes all the way round, and we're going to flatten it off like that, so it sort of flattens the top of the circle off a little bit. I'll show you that side. That's what we're looking for, and we want that loop nice and closed. So if it's opened, let's pinch it together, close it like that. Put my pliers back in. Okay. So then we think about how long we need this to go through the earlobe. So about that long, not too long. Don't need a great big long one, otherwise it will pull forward or backwards and it won't sit properly. So I'm just going to leave, it's probably about a centimetre, if that, 8 millimeters there. And then I'm going to use my round nose pliers again and put it where I think the length of it should be, and then I've got it down into the jaws, lower into the jaws of my pliers. So I want a curve, not a bend. Again, that's for comfort going through the ear. So then just push upwards with your fingers so that you've got a bit of a curve. You can see it's still quite a bend, but it's not harsh. Okay, and then we just want to trim that off. So we've got about 4 mil, 3 mil kinking upwards like that. Okay, so there's our ear wire, and now at this point you want to take a file and file that off so that it's nice and smooth. So start with a needle file, take all the edges off, so you're rounding those edges, just taking the sharp angles. And you can see I'm not pushing too hard because it's soft, copper's quite soft. This is a copper base wire, and same with silver, it's quite soft. You don't need to press too hard, and we don't want to put too many score lines in that we then got to file out. So sometimes you can get away with just using a file. Other times you might want to go over that with, a finer like a nail file or something like that. Something that's got a finer grit, and just smooth it off completely. And if you want to give a really lovely finish, you can work down the grits all the way into the buffing, smoothing part of your file. So just keep running it over your finger, and just remember your finger is far less sensitive than the ear. So if you think you can slightly feel something, you're definitely going to feel it through your ear. So that once you're happy with that, we then can make the catch. Now the catch needs to sit just where the kink upwards is, okay, so that it won't pull open. So what we're going to do is put our sort of mark our thumb where roughly that is on the loop, so about there. And I'm going to take my flat nose pliers, chain nose pliers, hold into the loop at the same point where this ear wire kinks up, and I'm just going to pull this wire upwards like that. Okay, and then we're going to get that out of the way, and then we're going to make a sort of hook. So again, round nose pliers, you don't want a massive one, so just put it sort of almost on the bend. So can you see there's the bend there? I'm just going to put my round nose pliers, being careful not to catch both wires, on that bend, and then bring this wire around like that. just so it makes this little hook. You can always do some fine adjustments. Little hook, and again at the end, just kink that out slightly. Kink that hook out slightly. It will just help this to sit in there. Okay, so we got that, and then we can trim that off. And again, if I were you, just for a nice finish, I would file that bit as well, though it's not quite as important. So you can see this goes in there, and that little loop there, it's not showing so well with a 1mm wire because 1mm wire is quite rigid anyway, but with a 0.8 that helps with a bit of spring. So we have that open a little bit and then pop it in, and it gives you that little bit of spring. So that's going to go through the ear, and then you've got this whole hoop to decorate. So let's hook that back in for now. You can make any adjustments. Sometimes you might need to just adjust the angle of that hook. Can you see how it's pointing? It's sort of spraying outwards that way a little bit. I'd be tempted just to grab a hold of the hook and tilt it inwards a little bit, just so that it is easier to hook it in and out. Okay. Right, then we're going to embellish it. So I'm going to use some 0.4mm wire, and I'm just going to grab some scraps here. And to do this, you need probably about 30 centimeters or so to go around this hoop. This one's a bit smaller than that one, but you'll need a decent size length because we're going to wrap and add beads. So first, to start off with, I'm going to just wrap the wire around a few times. Now you can open the earring up to help you if you like with this. So just wrap the wire around a few times to anchor it in place. And if you want to, you can go through the loop, but I feel that makes it look a little bit untidy. So what I do is I won't cut the tail off until I finish, because otherwise it can spin round as you're trying to work. So just tuck that up out the way to hold on to it whilst you work. And then I'm going to thread on. So 1, 2, 3 of my little beads. Now these can be seed beads, they can be gemstones, but these are little, so like these are a 2 or 3mm. I think they're a 2mm actually. 2mm. So pop 3 on, and then use your thumb to sort of put a bend in the wire and pull this down so that that middle bead is just sticking up like that. So you've got a bend in that 0.4 wire and your bead sticking up. Now the wire came from this side, so I've taken it over, pinched it, and then I'm bringing it through the loop. And then I'm just going to wrap. Again, up to you, once or twice, but I go once and then I'm ready to add more in. Okay, so I then pick up 3 more beads. 1, 2, 3. Pick them up. Again, I use my thumb just to help bend the wire, because if you just bend the wire like that, I mean, sometimes it works perfectly like that did, but what can happen is it can bend in the wrong place, and then your beads don't sit with that middle, with the the central bead at the highest point, or you end up with a bit of wire showing, and you don't want that. So I always help it to bend in the right place with my thumb, and then bend it round so it forms that little peak, and then wrap round once and back through to this side. Now, if you find that some of them are, sticking out more than others, that's just because the space is different. So if I space them out, they're flatter. If I push them together, they're more pointy. So you just keep going like that, really, adding beads on. Now, if you wanted beads integral, so actually on the loop, then just pop them on before you create that hook. So thread them on, then create the hook, and then you've got the beads sitting on the ring. So there's lots of things you can, lots of ways you can embellish this. You can pop on, you could do, like gizmo, that would look really cool, really chunky hoops. We pop beads on. You can thread charms on. What have I got handy? I'm seeing all the things I've got handy in here. Charms. So this is a big coin. That go on. Yeah, thread charms, coins, whatever you want really. You can embellish this however you like. It's just a really nice earring finding that you can create, and you can make your own hoop earrings. So hopefully that's useful and you can find use for it. Also, it's a really nice quick make, isn't it? And earrings are a great way of using up the ends of strands. So you might only have 2 or 3, gemstones left. So you might as well make them into a pair of earrings. So this is, a cool little demo. Hopefully you've enjoyed it and you can get on with making your own. Let me know in the comments. Was that good? Is there anything I didn't explain? Anything you'd like to see again or know a bit more or get me to try? Of course, the other thing, what have I got? How would that work? So you can open them up, pop them in your ears and then do them up again. You might be able to experiment with things going across the loop, suspended in the loop, because obviously you've got that bit there, so you could actually have something dangling in the loop, couldn't you? You're going to do some of those for next weekend? Oh, good. Yeah, I mean, you could make a batch up if you sort of sell charms or dangles, little maybe you just got a load of little briolets wrapped. You could have these, hanging up and then just say select your own drops or select your own charms to go onto it. It's a nice way of doing it, and then you can add them on for them, or just promote them as interchangeable. Okay, so hopefully that's helped and give you a bit of inspiration for the week and something to have a go at, something to evolve. Right, let's put that there. Back up here. Change the settings again because to change them so that you can see the demo. Let's go here and then put this on auto. There we go. Okay. Right then. Pretty. I have loads of beads left over, make a lot of earrings, nice added extra. I hadn't realized, everybody says to me, if you've got many earrings, and I'm like, well, actually, no, because I'm, usually just making the big things and then I forget to make earrings. So yeah, and I really enjoyed the other day just sitting and making earrings. It was just really nice because they come together so quickly, don't they? You feel like you've achieved something. Like I, pretty much did all of those in like one afternoon, and they're just really nice. These are all precious metal ones, and I've actually sold 3 of those pairs already. So, and these ones, these little, I don't know if you can see them, these little, these little turquoise drops. I've had those in my box, those little drops, for about, I don't know, 8 years. And it's just, there's not enough there to do a necklace, but they're really beautiful. And I thought, well, okay, I'm just going to put them into earrings. People do like a nice pair of earrings, don't they? So yeah, I showed, somebody wanted to ask me, will you have any precious metal earrings? So I said, well, I've actually got these, and I brought them out, and 3 pairs sold, just like that, just straight out. So really good little thing to be doing. And I found I procrastinated a bit last week. Do you get those weeks? Lots of music, good. I have had a week because the previous 3 weeks had been so intensely busy. So doing all the projects for the calendar, getting the collection for Bishop Wilton sorted, working. What else was I doing? Other things, teaching, lots of things I was doing, and it was really intensely busy, and I worked like a demon, And then last week, although I still got lots to do, and I've got this Robin to do, and I've got a few images to make for front covers for the tutorials, things like that. I've got all these things to do, but I just found I couldn't settle into doing anything. So I just made the earrings, and I was productive whilst procrastinating. And I had a really nice time. So, you know, sometimes you just got to do what you enjoy, you know, something you enjoy doing. Just give yourself a break for it. Because I was thinking, God, I'm just being so lazy. I haven't done anything that I should have done. But I did do something productive, you know, and also sort of whittling down some of my stash, which is also good. But yeah. Anyway, anyhow, I will go now and leave you to the rest of your Monday. I won't see you this evening on Charmers Gems. I haven't got any shows scheduled now until January, but you might see me doing other things. So I'm waiting on Emily, who does all Charmers social media and things like that, to see if there's any projects or any things within there that I can slot into and do with Charmers. But until January, I probably, which isn't actually long, it's only about 4 weeks, isn't it? I won't see you on the Monday evening necessarily. But you might see me. You never know. So this should be all. And then January, I should have loads of lovely new things to bring you. Right. Hopefully I'll see you on Wednesday evening in Crow's Mojo for our first live open jewellery surgery. Right. Have a great week, everybody. Thanks for being with me this morning. And have a go at the earrings. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.